time. Alright, what's up guys, PeterJaguars here again, back with PeterJaguars Pick'em for Week 14 of the 2015 NFL season. It's gonna be a goodie. We gotta crank out some W's right here. So let's hop into it. Last week was basically the epitome of having a boring week. We went 8-8, no winning record, no losing record, nothing too notable to talk about. But we are now 109 and 81 on the season, so 57% right here. And I'm telling you, I got a feeling about this week. It's going to be a goodie, and it started out well on Thursday night. We had Vikings-Cardinals. You see the tweet, we took the Cardinals, had to be back in Bruce Arians, Carson Palmer, all that good stuff. And they were able to come out with a clutch late victory. Teddy Bridgewater taking that sack at the end of the game that blew the Vikings' chances, so fortunate with that. But the Cards were able to get a win and start us well. Bye weeks, of course, are all over, so you see a lot of matchups up here. We actually have 14 Sunday games, and that is kicked off with an NFC South matchup. Falcons, Panthers, and the Panthers trying to stay undefeated right here. And the Falcons are on a 5-game losing streak. I don't think they'll be able to snap it right now. They did come into Charlotte and beat the Panthers last year, but two distinctly different teams. Cam Newton is still rolling strong, and Carolina is definitely going to be making a push to go undefeated. Should be able to continue that right here. In another NFC South battle, we have the Saints taking on the Bucks right now. The Bucks continue to give me troubles in terms of picking their games. When I have them winning, they lose. When I have them lose, like last week, they were able to take down Atlanta. So I don't know what's going on with this team, but the Saints, what I do understand is that they are 1-5 on the road and have been struggling mightily through that basically the entire season. So even though the Bucks don't have great home field advantage, they should be able to fire the cannons, work Mike Evans, Vincent Jackson, and be able to put up plenty of points against the Saints secondary that is very depleted right now, and really just not a very good defense as a whole, to be completely honest. Drew Brees could give them troubles, but I am taking Tampa Bay. It might be essentially by default, but it is Johnny time for Cleveland. Once again, they sit at 2-10, and really just playing for pride at this point as the playoffs are out of the mix. But certainly, they've got to be working hard, and they do have a good defense right now, especially against someone like Gabbert, who probably isn't going to be making a ton of great reads or working the ball. He has looked decent in the past couple weeks, but really, I feel like this will be a low-scoring affair at home, grinding it out in the dog pound. Johnny is going to be able to get the Browns a third win. It's really a shame that the Ravens have had so many injuries this year, because they could totally be in the mix for a wild card spot or something like that right now. With Matt Schaub or Jimmy Clausen or whatever the heck they're rolling out right now, it's going to be tough. Buck Allen has been doing well, so that's a nice little find in replacement of Justin Forsett. And Kamar Aiken has had some nice catches from game to game, but really going against the Seahawks defense that just locked up the Vikings, and their team has been looking really good as a whole recently. There is no doubt in my mind that Russell Wilson will take care of business. The crazy Rodgers to Rodgers Hail Mary may have very well closed the door on the Lions' slim playoff hopes, but if we've learned something about this team, started very poorly, they've rebounded, clearly playing hard. They are passionate and are not going to give up. So even heading into St. Louis right here, I feel like these guys are going to be firing Stafford, Megatron, all that stuff. And they should be able to get some points up on the board. But it is a tough place to go in St. Louis. In fact, they have been solid at home with some good victories, even though they haven't been having a great season. So it could go either way. This one feels like a toss-up to me. But the Lions probably still more motivated at the moment. And we'll head in because Jeff Fisher can grab 7 wins for like the 20th season in a row. Both Washington and Chicago have to be devastated from their heartbreaking losses recently. It was a tough one, falling to the Cowboys for the Redskins. And the Bears, of course, lost to Gabbert as Robbie Gould could not hit any field goals at the end. So these teams in tough situations, they're again in that sort of like, could we make the playoffs? Probably not. But of course, they're not ruled out, so there's definitely stuff to still be playing for. But it's really worth keeping in mind how much the Redskins have struggled on the road this year. They've done well at FedEx Field, some tough road opponents, but they haven't been going out of there and putting in much work. So the Bears at home, they rally at Soldier Field, and I feel like they are going to do enough to squeak out this. It wasn't that long ago that a rolling Kansas City team came to face San Diego and absolutely manhandled the Chargers. 3 weeks later, it's the same situation. The Chiefs are rolling and the Chargers are spiraling down, so to think much will be different right here is kind of silly to me. Phillip Rivers, still a competitor. We have talked about this. It's possible he is going to force things through and maybe keep games closer than they could be, but ultimately, there's very little chance that the Chargers do come out with this W. As it is, we are currently halfway through the picks for this video, so if you guys are enjoying it, make sure to spike that like button right now, and subscribe as well. You know though, actually, spike those likes and do yourself a favor, do me a favor, go subscribe as well, share the video, all that good stuff. Keep it rolling on right here. And it's going to be interesting to see how LeSean McCoy performs against Chip Kelly, because we know those two have some beef. There won't be a handshake after the game, and it's possible that he is going to completely go off. It sounds like the Bills really want to win the game for McCoy alone, but of course they've got a string of NFC East matchups coming up, and they really need to win these if they are to make the playoffs. This is a strong team that could have a run if they can get to that spot, but really need to tighten up, focus in, and take down the Eagles right here, who are definitely not as talented a team. So with that said, I feel like McCoy is going to have the big day he needs. Tyrod Taylor would do his work also, and that will be enough to get the Bills back over 500. On paper, Steelers-Bengals looks like it may be the best game of all of them this week. Big divisional matchup. The Steelers seem like they're finally getting things going, doing super well with their offense. Martavis Bryant, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, no Le'Veon Bell, and they are still putting up so many points. The Bengals have a good defense, and this is going to be a really tough one to head into Cincinnati and steal a victory, but that is what they have to do, and I love what Big Ben does in clutch games. He's done very well in the past, and Andy Dalton, maybe someone who is going to crumble a little bit. We'll see how he is if he can do well on the big stage this year. Right now, Dalton versus Roethlisberger, and the Steelers are going to be scoring enough to win. The Jets are another team in the AFC playoff mix, and if they can beat the Titans right here, certainly in a good position for something like that. One player to be looking out for, Dorial Green-Beckham. He did very well against my Jags last week as we fell to Tennessee, but he's a great young player, super talented, so I'm going to be definitely watching out for him in this one. But overall, Jets are a stronger team. They need to make the playoffs. We'll be going all out, and I think they will be able to continue fighting. I don't even know what to really say for this matchup. I mean, we should have had him last time. Jason Myers missed field goals. It is what it is. You move on. Matt Hasselbeck still gotta be playing better. We want to make the playoffs. I know I'm probably just dreaming right here, but there's a non-zero chance. So, of course, I'm considering the option. Need to win out. If Indy gets this one, then you can say goodbye to those. But really, I don't even care about the playoffs or something like this. I just want to beat the Colts. I'm sick of the franchise. To be completely honest, they murdered us for years with Peyton Manning. Then they get Andrew Luck. He gets hurt. Matt Hasselbeck's able to squeak out a win. It's getting really annoying. So seriously, we need to take them down. Allen Robinson needs to go ham and ball out. He does that. Bortles plays well. Colts are out. Let's go Jags. People are making out this Broncos-Raiders game to sound like a walkover or something like that. But really, I'm not seeing it as that at all. The Raiders are underrated for being 5-7 right now. And they definitely have a potent offense to be able to get enough to really challenge Brock Osweiler at the very least. Of course, there is a chance that they kind of crumble with the Broncos having some tough matchups ahead. I don't know how focused they're going to be on this contest, and they should be able to do enough to win. But it's not going to be a complete blowout. Aaron Rodgers against Tony Romo? What an exciting matchup. Wait. Matt Castle's starting? Matt freaking Castle. Oh. The spread for Patriots-Texans is sitting at New England minus 3.5, and about 90% of the money is coming in on them, so that's a little bit of a red flag. Maybe some shady things in this game. Really, I feel like it comes down to, can the Patriots offense produce without all of their offensive weapons, with the line slacking, all of that stuff? Can they continue to put up points against a pretty strong defense and block J.J. Watt at least a little bit to give Brady some opportunities? Now, I can't be going against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady coming off 2 consecutive losses. So even though I feel like this isn't going to be some guaranteed victory and they could have some problems right here, you've got to still be siding with them. And lastly, for Monday Night Football, we got Giants-Dolphins at Sun Life Stadium. Odell Beckham Jr. on the big stage. We'll see if he can make some crazy catches and take down this Dolphins secondary. And the Giants have to be considered one of the better 5-7 teams in a while. They've been doing pretty well and lost a lot of close games. Been in pretty much every single one of their losses, sans maybe 1 or 2. With 7 losses and being competitive in a lot of those, they're definitely a team that can compete with almost anyone. And they are still fighting for that division lead because of the weakness in the NFC East. So they've got to come in. Dolphins don't have great home field advantage. And with some good guys like Eli and Odell, they'll be able to step up to take a victory. One last look at the winners as we are wrapping up here. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more vids. Again, make sure to spike that like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for tons more Madden NFL 16 and football content. Let me know in the comments section who your current Super Bowl prediction includes. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.